In the previous Cursed Weapons episodes, I've created a lot of weapons with different characteristics. Cursed melee weapons, pistols, assault rifles, sniper rifles, shotgun, RPGs, even animals. And they were cool, and we did that using this machine. The Weapon Mixer 7000. But often during the creation process, I would encounter weapons that were so bad that I had to either delete or completely archive their existence. Weapons so terrible that the only word that could precisely describe them would be mistakes. You've never seen these weapons before. Until today. Because I've compiled them and decided to declassify their existence. You've been warned. Oh, and if you are new, basically what this machine does is you choose 2 or more weapons from the panel, then you press the combine button and out comes a combined weapon. To learn how to activate this machine, go watch episode 5. The sequence is still the same for now. Here are the weapons that should never exist. First one starts a few episodes back when I was trying to create a weapon with high magazine capacity. So in the middle of it, I had this bright idea to just take a bunch of loaded magazines and mix it with just a barrel or a suppressor of a weapon, hoping that the machine would interpret this into something unique, powerful, and with high magazine capacity. Wrong. I chose all the mags and the barrel, pressed the combine button, and out came... Is this a gun?
No! This is Patrick!
Patrick, a barrel of a gun attached with a bunch of magazines. Granted, it does have a high magazine capacity in a compact form. It loads 90 bullets. But that's where all the positivities end for this one. The biggest problem is that it has no trigger. How do you fire it then, you might ask? Well, if you go around the back, you'll see this hole. To fire this weapon, you just aim in a general direction, and then you have to put your finger in that hole. You just have to push it in deep until it feels right. The sensors will detect the penetration and then it will fire. It's clunky, imbalanced, has no sights, and it's difficult to hold. We tried holding it in many different ways, like this for example, but your fingers are all mangled, you have no grip. Then we tried holding it with a mag, like a pistol. Too flimsy. We tried holding it with 2 mags. Nope. Like this maybe? But then you can't aim. It's semi-automatic, it has a lot of bullets, but it's so awkward and inappropriate that there's no way to shoot this with a high fire rate. But after a lot of testing, only way we could somewhat shoot it fast was to just straight up figure it. And if you are good, you can shoot it quite fast actually. That's pretty much it. That's the best use we could find for this weapon. If you have any better ideas on how to shoot this properly, please write in the comments. I really don't see any other way. So, for now, Patrick. Unusable, embarrassing, and as I mentioned before, a mistake. Alright, let's move on to the... What? Where the fuck did it go? No. No. No! James! James, don't do it! James! Don't. No! James! Goddammit! Stop! James! Stop! James! Stop! In one of the previous videos, I created a lot of cursed shotguns that you guys really liked. I actually created one more that I didn't show you. My thought process was, if I combine every shotgun that is on this panel, surely something powerful and cool would come out, right? Well, I pressed the combine button, and out came... a shotgun. A shotgun is a 16-barrel, 16-trigger abomination of a shotgun. I was expecting something high-tech. Instead, this looks like it was welded together in a shed somewhere in Yugoslavia during the Cold War. It is extremely heavy, no proper way to hold it or carry it. You can't even aim it properly because this barrel is pointing at something completely different than this barrel. And if you want to shoot it, there's no possible way to memorize which trigger correlates to which barrel. So, the best way to shoot it, and the only positive side of this weapon, is to shoot all 16 barrels at the same time by doing that thing that people do on the pianos. Yep, that one. It's a bit tricky, but this is how it looks. You take your finger, you put it on the first trigger, and you really quickly push it back in 3, 2, 1! It will hit everything in front of you. But you gotta learn how to manage the recoil, or you will become the projectile. Now comes the hardest part, reloading. You open it up like a normal shotgun, and you might think like, oh, you just throw out the old shells and replace them with the new ones, right? Not as easy as that sounds, because all the shells are the size of the barrel. You have to take them out individually, which takes quite a bit of time and energy. Half an hour later, after you are done, then you have to draw the new ones from your quiver, which is very heavy, by the way, and you have to load them individually too. And one more half an hour later, you are ready to fire again. Is this good or bad? I'm not really sure, because as ridiculous as it looks, I kinda like it. Tell me in the comments, what do you guys think? The shotgun, a Frankenstein of a weapon. Alright, let's move on to the next. No, James! Goddammit, James! You know, in video games, usually, the more expensive the weapon is, the more powerful it is. So my thought process for this one was, if I choose a relatively cheap weapon, let's say a Deagle, and I combine it with a lot of money, surely that will turn the weapon into something insanely powerful, right? So that's what I did. And then I pressed the combine button, but out came a Deagle. A Deagle, made by one of the biggest and richest gaming companies out there. Let's see what you get with the purchase. You get one pistol with one card reader on the right side and another credit or debit card terminal on the other. Yes, you own the weapon, but it's unusable for now. First, what you have to do is to unlock a trigger. As you can see, it's missing. So just insert your credit or debit card in the terminal, and after a payment of a low price of $29.99, the trigger will be unlocked. Now the weapon can be used. Technically. Because the slide, the top part of the weapon, is locked, indicated by the red light on the right side, and to unlock that it will cost you an additional $5.99 per shot, which is insanely expensive. But to save money, the company thought about their users and came up with a subscription plan called the Bullet Pass. It will cost you only $9.99 per month, and you can have unlimited slide unlocks for the duration of the subscription. You have to slide the card every time you want to shoot. And if you are good, you can do it super fast. But if you are really good, you can position the card in a way that the slide going backwards will automatically swipe the card for the next shot. Just like demonstrated. Oh shit. Alright, it's right there. Go get it. Get it. Go. Ooh, get it. Ooh, get it. Ooh. To fire the weapon, you will need a lot of bullets. But you can't buy them. They make their own bullets, and the only way to get them is through these super duper cool loot cases. Yes, here it is. Look, just like a Counter-Strike case, but instead of skins, for the blue color you get the primer. For the purple, you get the casing. For the pink, you get the gunpowder. For the red, you get a bullet. And for the rare special item, you get a fully loaded magazine. Wow! Without the bullets. Now I know what you are thinking. Where do I pre-order this? Well, if you use my promo code, I keep paying for the dumbest shit and keep pre-ordering unfinished games, and that's how they keep getting away with it. If you use that code, you will get 2 of these never. Deagle, my friends. Wow. Alright, and for the last one, I once had this random idea to just combine Mac 10 with an M4. No specific reason, sounded innocent enough. But boy, how wrong was I. Before I do this, I have to warn you. What you're about to see is not for the faint-hearted. I chose the weapons, I pressed the combine button, and out came Mac 4. This demands an apology to the whole human race. I am so sorry that a piece of metal had to be wasted to create this. Mac 4. This weapon is so cursed, pretty sure it's illegal to show this uncensored on screen, especially in Japan. I wouldn't be surprised if I get swatted and executed on the spot in a few minutes. It's so cursed that even the machine retracted itself out of embarrassment. This weapon is so cursed, even James refused to come close, let alone touch this weapon. And not only with his hands, as he usually does. It's so cursed, Judah betraying Jesus was not as bad as this abomination. Adam one-throating the forbidden apple was not as bad as me burning this into your memory forever. So cursed that Caesar getting betrayed and backstabbed was not as bad as me betraying you guys by making you watch this. Lando Calrissian betraying the rebellion, or Fredo Corleone betraying his brother, was not as bad as me even thinking of creating something like this. Hitler doing what he did was not as bad. There's a reason a mannequin is holding this weapon. Because the last guy that touched this, well,